Hello everyone, welcome back to Altreus Plays Dead Cells. Let's see how awful we are at this game now. That is wonderful. Thank you for a very early chest so I don't have to think too hard. At the end of the last episode, we started the new episode by going, oh my god, what is this set of things that you've given me to play the run with? And I still feel that way. We see this one? Tom's Place. Prisoner? Yes, Mushroom Monastery. We like this one. Fill up some. Give me some money. Early money is nice. Ooh, stun grenade, which normally I wouldn't ask for. That's a chest, yes, but it's actually not a chest. Normally I wouldn't bother with the stun grenade, but we haven't got anything else, so who's asking? What do you got? Don't know how we're going to cope with nothing but fire and a shield. I mean, the fire thingy also does melee damage, which is nice. And then burninates the enemies afterwards. So I don't know if we need shields on this run. Let's try not using shields, because that way, if we don't need shields, we can... I guess what I'm trying to say is, if we can go red on this run, then we should do. Because that's always better. Especially when your shield is something that I kind of know how to use. There are a couple of shields that I'm down with and I can deal with and I understand. This is not one of them. This is definitely not one of them. It's a... Oh my god! Where the frick did you come from? See, that's why I don't like those enemies. It's just a shield. It does shielding. I think I'm okay-ish with shields that don't require too much. That was impossible. Again, keep putting me in these positions, game, and I really don't appreciate it. I can deal with shields that have some sort of special effect that I can sort of... I guess I would say I can get behind why I would use the shield, and therefore use the shield. But I think we're going to go with a red run today. Oh, I don't know if there's going to be enough enemies left. Why did I do that? I don't know if there's going to be enough enemies left to achieve the necessary 30 without getting hit, because those damn birdie things that I can't even see managed to hit me. It's a bit rude. So can you not in future? That would be grand too. And you died. I like having the infantry grenade because all the damage it can do is just silly. I don't know how to use this either, so I'm just going to kill it. Everything that I don't understand is money. Random. Woohoo. I mean, I don't even know how a tactics-only run would work, which is why I've never tried one. Because there don't seem to be that many things that specifically deal with just being a tactics item. Also, I have this stun grenade. The problem with these birdies today has not been the... it's not been the inability to deal with them, it's been the inability to see them in the first place. Stop. Nice. So, I don't really feel like the stun grenade has been misused, necessarily. I can see you this time, though. It's just that every birdie that I've covered... Well, one of them I probably could have stunned, actually. So, to be fair, credit where credit's due, and the opposite thereof presumably also applies. Folly where folly is due. Blame where blame is due, for sure. At least one birdie thing I have failed at, probably, so far. But one of them I just didn't see, and it's not fair. So, you know, karmaically, I am still ahead. Whew. Nearly thought I was going to come a cropper of an enemy that I should never be having trouble with. But, no, I'm only going to come a cropper of enemies that I have no idea how to deal with. Which seems fair, because that's how this works. Yes, more brutality, please. I haven't used my shield at all in all this time. I don't really want to spend money on a stun grenade. I already have one, and I wouldn't want to spend money on this one either. One more enemy, please. Yeah, might as well walk. Hobson's choice, mate. Some people don't know what some things mean. Hobson's choice, it turns out, is not a universal phrase, even though it is. What are you talking about? Everyone knows what it means. There's exactly 29 enemies. Responding to the most eccentric of demands for 15 years and at least... Oh, yeah. So we've got plenty of money. I don't really want it. I want to buy the things. There are no enemies left. Oh, maybe. Ooh. It ain't over till the fat lady warbles. Of course, we haven't found the other exit, so there's going to be enemies on the way to it. So as long as we don't get hit. Hobson's choice means it looks like you have a choice, but you don't. In the sense that it basically means you've got a choice of one thing. A bit like when Henry Ford said you can have any color as long as it's black, right? That is Hobson's choice. Hobson, I believe, the phrase comes from a stable hand or a stable manager, way back in the day when that was even a relevant thing to anybody, who would basically not give you a choice of which horse you were given. I have a feeling that there was something a little bit, not necessarily sinister, but like a bit cheeky about it, in that if you paid for a horse and you said, you know, give me a horse, and you would get his choice of horse, not your choice of horse. And therefore you got Hobson's choice, which means you didn't get a choice in the first place, but you could have paid for... Well, this is interesting, isn't it? I don't want a bloodthirsty shield, but I definitely want this. So what we're going to do is we're going to sell it. We can't sell this. We're going to switch these around so that our main thingy is that. And we're going to walk further to this than to the door and leave with our stabby thing. Which is fine. How good is it, by the way? 4+. It doesn't have anything synergizing with the fire that we've got, because we can create fire at will. So I was hoping to maybe get fire synergy. Frozen and bleeding. I don't want. Oh, explode is a good one. So let's do that. Also, if we keep paying for a fire synergy and then we get something better to go in our second slot, we're going to be sad about it. So I think we'll just keep the fire synergy as a sort of a plain synergy, in the sense that we don't have anything that specifically works with fire, except for the fact that when things are burning, they will die. Which is not really a synergy, it's just the way it works. But yeah. I don't want to worry about getting hit. The red thingies are not very good anymore, I think. I'm gonna extract from my tea, infuse it, because I don't want it to stew. There's always a bit of a guess when trying to make a cup of tea. I don't know if it's a thing that you understand. No. Oh, did you see that? That was amazing. Oh. Twice. Twice in a row whilst talking about something else, mate. Whoa, I see you. 3 times I have successfully navigated that nonsense. And there's another one. So don't even play with me. I'm better than you at everything right now. Nice. We do like Icepo. So I'm glad I didn't spend on the torch, but I'm going to replace that. Oh, also, well, whatever. Shortcuts, and I'm not taking them, and then I'm going back to take the shortcut, because I feel like I should have. Not every culture has tea. Granted, but that's your fault, not mine. I don't see why I should cater to the whims of people who don't understand. It's not just cultures. I know some people do not drink tea, and also those people will watch these videos, and also what the heck is the matter with you? So, how many more of these? I'm so glad that I found a weapon I can deal with it. Oh, hang on a minute. I need to take a breather. I'm going too fast, and I don't want this relationship to suffer because right words, wrong talk. Wrong sentiment. The same. Wow, it's funny how versatile a particular set of words can turn out to be. Nah! Stop. Too much. I didn't even need to be here. That's what hurts so much. Well, let's use our first heal of the game. Don't talk about that. Some people don't like tea. Don't like even hot drinks. 40-something years of... How old are you people? You know, what is the matter? How can you have got this far through life and not learned the value of a hot cup of tea in the morning or in the evening or coffee or etc, etc? It's just infeasible, unthinkable. Forgot I had this. Missed. Gotcha. We should be freezing enemies at a distance. I do recall, actually, that I do get damage with frozen targets. I should be able to do this. Oh, it doesn't last very long. I would like that. Briefly freezes enemies, yeah. I'd like that to be a longer thingy. I like bows and I like freezing. It would be great if we could replace this freezing bow with some equivalent, like the ice... No! Ooh. The ice badoodas? What are they called? You know, the ones where you throw them and they hurt baddies. Nice, nice. First of all, what's wrong with you? Secondly, it's not... It's a difficult thing. A cup of tea is... there's nuance, okay? And there's difficulty. Hey! I was looking down there to attack this one, and I did not see that there's one up here about to attack me anyway. Nice. It'd be great if my thingy would apply to the slow target. This is too hard. Can you stop being so difficult? I've decided to put a moratorium on this entire game because that elite... First of all, leave me alone. Second of all, this game is far too hard. There's too much nonsense. These birdie things that just are invisible. It's just not fair. I've done so well against them so far, but I still cannot agree to their existence in the game. I cannot say, yes, I think this is a well-balanced and reasonable enemy, because it isn't. I'm kind of surprised that there aren't enough people who agree with that they've updated it, because playtesting is one thing, but the whims of the community should be paramount in a game like this. They do listen, that's the thing. Maybe I'm the only voice. I'm not the only voice. Maybe we're the only sort of quiet voices, really. That's nice, I do like that. Run away. I want to stamp on these to see if there's anything good in them. Bit of money. I'm so fast right now. More money. All good. All good for me. There's a balance. Where was I? We were making a cup of tea. I've got a little tea infuser, and so if you leave it in there too long, it stews and tastes bad. But of course, anybody who doesn't like tea already will be saying, "What do you mean it tastes bad? It already tastes bad." Very funny. It's an old thing to say. Like, I'm the same with much food, including mushrooms and Marmite, but it's only funny when I say it, okay? If somebody else says it, it's just like you've stolen my joke. You know, I was the first person on Earth to think of saying, it's already horrible, but you don't get to, you know, you don't get to persecute me for that, okay? You don't get to steal my stuff. You don't get to appropriate what is clearly a personal cultural tradition. So leave me alone. Don't like this. Look at me planning my moves. Yes? Got to torch again. I don't think this is good. I think the wolf trap might be better than the stun grenade. We're not really using the stun grenade. It's essentially the same thing, right? It just stops enemies in their tracks. But I feel like it lasts longer, maybe. Random skills, grenades. Look for grenades. Might be a better grenade. The ice grenade, actually, I think might be worth buying. And just immediately replacing the wolf trap, which it's not like the wolf trap we paid for and regret paying for. So I'm okay with this. Grimoire. Is this what we read? Too many revenants. Revenant. Being the reborn. Mushrooms collected from all over the sea. I thought there would be food or something. Give me free stuff. I don't go to these lore places just to learn. I have a little tea infuser thing. I don't really know what you might call it. There's multiple options for such a device. This one is unique because many of them, which you'll have seen. What? Did you see that? That's not allowed. Many of them, which you will have seen, are little eggy things. And what they do is they be pesky. How do you describe this? You put the tea in them and they clasp together. So they're like two little sieve-shaped things. They clasp together. And in so doing, contain and cocoon a small amount of tea, which over time infuses into the drink, the hot water, provided that you remember to do the crucial step of putting in hot water first. Once you've got that down, you're golden, because you've figured out the important part of making a cup of tea, which is to make tea in a cup. I'm going to come back to that and see if we can get something good out of here. I don't like them, because you can't get very much tea in them, to begin with. And once you've got tea in them, it doesn't stay in. It's a little bit difficult to explain if you've never come across these things. But essentially what happens is you fill it with tea, and then you clasp it closed, and then that clasps a whole bunch of tea leaves in the in between the two halves of the eggy thing. I'm so paranoid about these bird thingies. Luckily they move so fast that you're pretty much guaranteed to see one, if there is one. And then little bits of tea leaves float around your tea anyway, and you wonder why you bother doing it, right? Whereas, if you wanted to just use a tea bag, for example, like a normal person, it's pre-sealed. It has a larger amount of tea in it, a generous amount of tea in it, the correct amount of tea in it, and it doesn't all float around all over the place. And then, not only is it difficult to get the tea into the thing, it is then difficult to get the tea out of the thing because it's now formed a clump of loose, liquidy tea leaves, like damp tea leaves. I keep thinking I've got the bow that you have to, the active release bow. And then you have to sort of poke them out of the gaps. Very pesky, honestly. Right, 56. Do not come across a goddamn bird that you do not see. You're allowed to visit. Oh, that's yes, those. That's what I wanted. Ice Shards 3+. Damage to a burning target. No. What? Leave me alone. I'm pretty sure that's why. Oh, hang on. Slows down. It doesn't freeze them, but our freezing has not been sufficient recently. I'm hoping that there's like 4 more enemies down here, and then we can just go. There's one. We have this for freezing, so actually I'm okay. Yes, this is fine. I'm going to do this the long way because I'm scared. I don't want to lose my 60 chance. Of which I need 2, like there's 2 baddies right down there, I can see them. And as long as there's no bloody owl thingies, it's going to be golden. Is there another way through here? Yes. I don't want to aggro that birdie there. Unless I can, He's done it! What a legend! True man of the world, that one. Anyway, my tea thingy is... Oh! Got complacent. My tea thingy is a... It's hard to describe. It's got a collar, like a rim, right? So it's a flat disc. Oh, it's a ruby. I was confused. It's a single flat disc with an hole in the middle. And the hole in the middle, what that does is it houses a cylinder with a mesh cylinder with holes in it, like you would, in which you put your good old-fashioned tea, right? So, and then that goes inside the cup, and then the ring aforementioned, that will go. Oh no, don't want to be this one. That will go on top of the edge of the cup, and then you can fill the thing with tea leaves. How did I not see this? You fill your thing with tea leaves and put the water in the cup, and then you can see the water fill up the cup as it goes along. And then, so you can stop pouring at the right point, and then just sort of sits there and waits for you to take the whole contraption out again, and then it stops doing. Speaking of all this tea, if you don't mind, I'm going to actually drink some of it. It's the previously preferred Earl Grey. No, Countess Grey. A modern twist on the old Earl Grey classic, he says, in full gamer mode. I just have to keep going here. There's nothing I can do, dude. Nice, nice. This, then. Yikes. All good so far. Wow, that was actually a really good series of fights, wasn't it? I just legged it through and managed to get to a point where I wasn't actually being completely owned. And now we're here, so good job, me. Yes, please. Anyway, it's quite a tasty cup of tea, but I had to stop stewing it at the time that I stewed it, or it's going to taste horrible. And again, very funny, but you know, we're grown-ups now. We're not here for that sort of childish, I'm better than you because my taste is different sort of thingy. You know what? I've talked about this before, but the world would be a lot simpler of a place if people would just stop taking their personal preferences to be the gospel truth of all preferences. Anybody who disagrees with what I think is automatically wrong and evil. I don't want to replace a 4 with a 2 now, do I? Master Bruce. It is not really a... Hey, hot take, stop being dicks. But, yeah, you get the idea. I think a lot of the problems that we're seeing is... We are seeing a lot of problems. I thought that was just a bird that had ignored me, but it was actually... I don't want to go to the Ancient Sewers. If you'll forgive me, I do not want to go to the Ancient Sewers because I'm doing well, and I want to get through this. So we're going to go to the Ramparts, which is not that much different, but it doesn't have those damn mushrooms in it. So let's do this. Oh, heck. Cup of tea. People will offer their opinions on literally anything you can care to discover people offering opinions on. We might as well take an amulet. We don't have one. And the other two items were rubbish. Curse Sword is probably amazing, but I'm not good enough at this game to play with the Curse Sword, so no. Got nothing to unlock. I should probably try and fix that too. Oh, freeze. That's really good. Fighters, fine. Don't need to spend all our money. I feel like if people could every now and then just stop and think, and I don't mean before they speak, although that's obviously very important. What I mean is just spend time not talking or speaking in some way. Don't offer your opinion anywhere. Don't, you know, apply your thoughts to a project. Don't go on a forum, don't go on Discord, don't go on Twitter, don't do any work, don't work on something, don't, you know, offer advice on somebody else's work on something. Just shut up. Every now and then, literally just shut up. And you will start to realize that your brain will produce thoughts that you previously had not considered relevant or workable or anything like this, right? That's called, in part, that's called meditate. Now, when someone says, that's how we would have once pronounced it. When someone says, I will meditate on this, what they mean is I'm going to stop and think and let my brain's thought processes provide me with an answer to what you're talking about. You know, my background thoughts, my second, third, and fourth thoughts, they are going to be the ones that we apply here. Ooh, that was really good. Wherein, instead of just immediately answering a question or having an opinion on the internet or something like that, some part of me is going to wait and output later on, maybe in a couple of days, you don't know. A sensible and reasoned and adult opinion on whatever topic is at hand. And you know, that is a good way of dealing with it, because meditating upon it in that sense means just allowing the process of meditation to produce a response. And in this case, meditation can simply mean waiting. Waiting for your brain to work. Which is kind of what meditation is, right? Allowing your internal processes to be processes. I couldn't do anything. There's nothing I could do, dude. Probably could have done something by just not being there. You know how I am. I did see a key, but I don't really care to go and get it. I think that's very important. It's an important skill to have, not just an important thing to do. To just silence yourself. That was not fair. I mean, it was perfectly fair. I could have just not attacked the bastard further. Oh, I don't like these things being here. Just leave it. Be quiet. Very important skill to have, to be quiet once in a while, but why can nobody do it? That's the real question. Why is it such a big deal to some people? And why do so many people feel it's like there's entitlement to having your knowledge, your opinions heard? I think like the aforementioned is a big part of it, right? Because if you don't just sort of stop and wait every now and then, you're going to find that you're going to get used to the idea. Do we want this? Hang on. I think so. We're going to take this because it's amazing. But also because we already have freezing so that we don't really need to keep holding the one that we did have. I rolled through that absolutely 100%. I was right there. Oh my god. It's got to that point where like everything can attack me at once because one thing hit me. So please, if you're gonna have an opinion on things, you're allowed to. I'm not gonna say that. First of all, I don't have any say over that, so don't try and let me stop. Don't let me try and stop you. But also, like, if you have any respect for anybody, it should be for me, and then therefore you should like do what I say. But no, just meditate upon it, because a lot of the time, and I'm gonna hit you with a hot take right now, it doesn't matter. Okay, it literally doesn't matter. Most of the crap that we get flame wars about these days are not, you know, equality problems and politics and although again most of that doesn't matter because most people are wrong. What I mean is, do like that. It's like a shotgun. It somehow manages to avoid my concerns with slow firing weapons. Probably by being amazing when it does fire. Right? It's whether Star Wars is any good. It's whether tea is nice. I'm not listening. Don't give me your opinions on whether tea is nice, okay? If you want to talk about something in the comments, then hella, by all means, go for it. But I'm not interested in whether you like tea or not. I am interested in the fact that some people don't, because obviously that is completely wrong. I've given up. Let me out. The fact that those things poison you, so how many different vectors of attack can one enemy have? And then they're everywhere as well, right? It's not like they're super rare. I like the fact that pulls them towards you. So, I mean, I find this in a game like chess. I play chess occasionally with Carl, on the chess.com app, which is awful, but, you know, it works. It knows the rules of chess and lets me, you know, tap on things and move pieces that aren't real. Mathematical chess objects can be transformed by my finger-based input, which is actually superb when you think about it, but anyway. And he makes a move, and I look at the thing I'm going, I don't know what you're doing. And then sometimes I go, ooh, I know exactly what to do. And every time I go, ooh, I know exactly what to do, that was the wrong thing to do. Right? Seems like as long as I know what to do immediately in the moment, I can guarantee that I'm wrong. Wow, that just ended everything. Oh, I thought there was a gap there. I threw that down a gap that didn't exist. My mistake. Do you know what? I don't even need to go down there. So stop trying to fight every enemy. And just chill out. Nice. Hang on, itchy elbow. I'm glad I picked up this heavy crossbow L, because it's making short work of a lot of situations that normally I would be unwilling to be found myself. Oh. Although that was a long situation that I found myself caught in, and I did not like it. Die. The thing is, they get to such a position that you can't roll behind them and attack them. There's like so many ways that this enemy is just impossible to deal with. Why does it have to have this many ways? But then if I sit back and sort of ignore... I don't ignore it necessarily, but... just come back to it at lunchtime. You know, come back to it the next morning. Carl takes a long time over making these moves. Half the time it's because he's doing something, right? You know, he's got a busy life. He's at uni, which for some people is a busy life, but for many people it's not that busy at all. Well, it's busy for other reasons, I guess. But if you are... Do I want to fight an elite one of those? Not really. That was easy. I want the boomerang, but wow. Couldn't have given me a blueprint or anything, no? When you come back to it later, you see it in a different light. It's exactly the same board, everything's exactly the same, but you're in a different frame of mind. You haven't just had your amazing plan ruined, and you can sort of put your mental processes into igniting a new plan. I don't know if igniting is the right word, but you get the idea. Those things can't get me if I get them first. Right? That was my last. Nice. That first shot where it pulls them in makes so much of a difference. Just don't. Don't let it get you. I have no idea what happened. I think I thought that this ledge was a lot closer than it actually turned out to be. And that... Oh. So there's nothing there. Turns out. Let's just go. Let's leave this horrible place. This den of sin and iniquity. And you come back later and you're like, you know what? I know how to make this move now. And the nice thing is that you can sort of go away and do absolutely anything, and then you come back and you like go to the loo or something. And then there's a scroll enemy, but I'm honestly not bothered by it, because I remember that little passageway was not my favorite. And the move to make in that situation is suddenly clear for some reason. Oh, char. We might as well unlock these, but I am starting to consider breaking this door down here and, you know, spending, like, trying to hang on to those cells and spend them on the bigger blacksmith guy who shows up only every now and then. Using a health potion, increase HP. We've had one of those. I don't like them. There's not enough of them. Maybe there's more that we haven't unlocked yet, but they used to be so good, right? I don't know. I don't like how so many of them involve healing and taking damage and stuff. I'd rather just continually take damage. Get out of the way. I don't want him to do the zappy thing when I'm nearby. Yes, hooray! Well done. Have this. Have it, you. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. And I didn't necessarily want to, you don't get to have two! Ooh, I heard the zapping, but because he was slowed, I had the opportunity to avoid the zapping. I'm waiting for him to do a zap before I try and freeze him. There we go. Because when it comes off, we can do this. Oh, come on. Enough of that. Here. Blam. Wow, that actually takes off a significant proportion of his health. I think one day we might actually be able to fight this and not get hit. Wouldn't that be nice? I thought you ran out of shields. What? Blam. Nice. This. No! I couldn't move because that attack that I did took so long. There's nothing I could do, dude. You know, that's becoming one of my favourite phrases right now. I don't like the Americanization of it, but I do like the sentiment of it. Blam. Nice. Have this. That's a two-way attack. We knew that. What are you doing? I have done very badly on this fight, but I've been trying some new things, and honestly, I think they went okay. It's not like we didn't fail. It's not like we failed it. We managed. It just wasn't the best. Ooh, another... 2 weapons. Not really what I want. Ice Grenade 3 does not beat Ice Grenade 5. Is what we've got. 4 plus is 6, actually. And a Piccolo Concierge outfit. We should probably change outfit once in a while. Why the heck not, right? Anyway. Don't let me tell you how to live your life. Although I'm going to. Because I have a platform on which to do so. I've got nothing for you. Oh, I should give you the thing. It won't let you through if you have blueprints that you've not given it. Although, I broke it just by rolling into it. Seems a little bit weak to me. Weak south. Is there anything alternative to the Stilt Village? What is the alternative to the Stilt Village? Is it a horrible place? Yes. I'm not going there. I do believe that we probably have it in us to fight those golems, but I didn't bring my Hunter's Grenade. I didn't want to, because I wanted to play the game and actually be good at it for once. Yeah, basically I felt that right now is my opportunity to do okay. Nice. And get some sort of... Come on, wings back. Wings back? Not quite what I meant, but you get the idea. Why are you so... Too much! Yes, too bad. I had a bit of a hiatus of recording in general, and it was great. And this is Bank Holiday Monday, and I successfully hung out the washing on a Bank Holiday Monday without it getting rained on, and therefore even more wet than it was when I put it out in the first place. And now here we are. Do you know what? We've done so much tidying. Not just this weekend, but the last one too. We have had a bank holiday recently, so actually going to work for a full week is becoming a little bit trying. It's not something we're necessarily very good at as a society right now. These eggs need to go away. Right. Okay, those things are quite easy from a distance. Even with the spread on this shot, it doesn't really seem that important that we hit them from close up. So let's do this. Okay, fine. Let's do this. Whew. When they are slow, you can just about get a shot off and hit them. Wait. Nice. It's a good thing so many things are slowing enemies down, which is probably... Oh, leave me alone. I'm not into this. I don't want to play your sordid games. Oh, the brain space, the way... Why did you get aggroed? How are you allowed? This is not allowed. No, I'm getting out of here. Go away. You want me? Come and get me. Right. Let's let this thing do as it will. We need to get over here. I can't even figure out how to get to it. Right? This is too much. The problem I'm having right now is that I did not aggro this enemy. So I do not feel like I deserve to be in its bad books right now. Roll. Kill it. Right. That was not fair. That was absolutely something that I am not happy with, and there's nothing I can do about it. So all I'm going to do is complain on social media. As I was just saying, I will take several days before I do so to make sure that this is really how I feel and not just alternative universe me who is upset about something that you should be upset about. Yeah. Do you reckon there's AU versions of yourself? Are you someone else's fanfic? Wouldn't that be weird? I know that happens because obviously fanfic is not just used. Not all fanfic is fictional characters, I guess is what I'm trying to say, right? I would be very surprised if there were not fanfic that included real celebrities who, basically, if anyone's heard of you, if enough people have heard of you, you're going to get Rule 30 followed, right? But that doesn't sound very nice. I don't want to be that. So try not to be too successful, I guess is the point here. I don't think, honestly, that we have a very good boss killing run right now. We've also got a long way to go to get to a boss in order to try and kill it, let alone the king itself, or the king's hand. Can someone tell me what rules govern whether an enemy gets stunned or not from an attack? Because I don't appreciate not knowing. Stop turning around, PS. If it does. Stop this! You were bad enough when you could just turn into zombies, you know? Whew. Right. Because it's useful knowledge, because if you know, then you can decide whether you could stay around or not. One of the nice things about Isaac is knowing whether you need to ignore it, like whether the shot that you just fired is enough and you can move on. I mean, I expect that I will know that about this eventually. What is this place for? Hi. But I guess the fact that I played Isaac so much means that when I come across that situation, I can say, right, just leave that enemy, it's about to die. There's enough poison on it, there's enough tears in the air to kill it. Whereas on this game, I don't have that sort of instinct just yet. Don't need to do that, that's okay. So I mean, one of such an example is, can I actually do damage? What am I saying? Can I stun the enemy with what I'm about to do? I guess. That's very expensive food. No, chef. think you're Gordon Ramsay, but you're not. Ooh. The thing about hot drinks is if you drink them before they get cold, they're slightly better than if you drink them after they get cold. Like, I know that stuns them, right? That's kind of half the course. That is the game right there. Use that stun. Oh. Roll, kill. Did I get that? Oh, I do love that explodey bad bodies, by the way. I must have got that captain without realizing. Yeah, so that little instinct that you get for playing the game so long. Some of the villagers are going to get crystals to sell. No one's home. Or certainly if we kill against Malays, promise. They won't need it anymore anyway. Ha 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 ha. Splendid. I don't have that in this game, so I'm often making occasional mistakes, I suppose you might say. Let's look for anything, honestly. Bullshit. Very well. I was kind of hoping to get an upgrade to my backstabby weapon, but I don't think I need it. Which is, it sounds like I'm being a little bit cocky, maybe? You might be right. Let's not go so far as to do what look more like, but I feel like our current... Can I get that? Why are you down there? Oh, that's where that soldier died. Yes. I don't think this is a very good end of the game boss killing run, but we only need a couple more things to make it so, I believe. At least that's my instinct. Again, don't really have that instinct in this game, so who knows? It's not like I do. Ow. How dare you? How dare you? Ow, ow. What is this? I thought we had all the keys. Something froze that, and I don't know what it was, but I was so grateful for it. Very, very grateful for it. Yeah, I can't hit that. Nice, nice, nice. It's the other key. The village key. Didn't we already use that? I mean, didn't we already have that? I don't know. Apparently not, because I've only got one. So I've got a little bit of the instinct for those things, because I can tell when they're about to try and hurt me, and then not let them do so by rolling at the right moment. But, I mean, only if I can. And, of course, that tends to be scuppered a little bit by the existence of... I'm going to go this way today. By the existence of those new enemies who I don't know how to deal with. Hot tower, yes. I did see this on the way up. Can I do something with that? Nothing here. Nothing there. Okay. Thought they might be fun, but there's no fun. No fun to be had. How dare you? How dare you even try? Boom. Right. Clock tower for me means we avoid the horrible places like the Slumberling Sanctuary and the other place, you know the one. The ossuary and what does Jen want? I don't know. He's just being sarcastic to me. I wish I were good at this game, don't you? I'm going to put the money in this. I don't need a new outfit. We haven't even put the old outfit on yet. None of this needs upgrading, except this. Might as well make it a 4+. Fighters. Sure. Burn. I didn't want to try and have a burning synergy alongside a whole freezing synergy thing that we've got going on right now, but it's really difficult to get it to roll into what you want. They should use those doors more often, honestly. I feel like that always gives you an upgrade to the one that you started with. Could just be a... It's almost certainly, what do you call it? You know, the one where you... appreciate this weapon so much. With the... and the... because... What's that fallacy called? Observation bias, that's it. I'm fairly sure it's observation bias because I only observe it every so often. No! Not quite good enough! This weapon needs an upgrade immediately. I don't think I can upgrade it though. I can reforge the modifiers, but I can't upgrade it. It's a problem because it's not quite strong enough to one-shot those things, which is really what I'm relying on. And also, that gives you some idea about how much HP those things have, because they're a reasonable quantity of the concierge's HP. Know what I mean? Because we know how much HP those got, because we've seen the effect that this thing has on the concierge. It's turning out to be difficult. How did you manage that? Pardon me. So they see you. I still have to get these patterns down, right? Let's try this again. They see you and drop a grenade. Well, that one doesn't. Sometimes they charge at you, sometimes they drop a grenade at you. Let's just kill this one. I'm really trying hard not to attack the elite down there. Appreciate the water in that one as well. I'm trying to get their pattern down because I don't seem to be able to react to what they're about to do because I don't know what they're about to do, which is silly because how long have I been playing this game? And we've got to the clock tower so many times now that it's basically second nature. I shouldn't really be pleased that I got this far, and I'm not. I'm not saying, hooray, look at me, I got this far. A letter on the desk. Maybe this desk belonged to the guardian of this tower. Day one. Alright, we've seen this. All day one, yes. Now that I recognize that for what it is, creative weapons, nice. Oh, so tempting. The 5+. No. That was a very difficult decision, honestly. Because I know those are very valuable to just leave and forget. Because I mean, I'm starting to see how a tactics run would work, right? Because what you want to do in that tactics run situation is get away. Be far away all the time, basically. It's like survival, except more so because survival is not quite so much focused on not being there. But it's very much focused on avoiding the damage up close, essentially, because that's what the shield is for. Unless we can get a melee weapon that's better than... Whoa! A 4++ versus a 7+. This is better. But we need our synergies back. We lose 1 point of damage, but we get a huge amount of... Okay. Doing it because that's what money is made for, and we got a vast refund from Nat, and that was exactly what I wanted to happen. So when it happened, and ignoring it would have been silly, essentially. I don't know if that was the right decision because we've lost our synergy. We're gonna have to spend a lot of money potentially in order to get it back, but we will go how we go. I was talking about how we done a lot of tidying this weekend. If that's what we like to see. This is not. That was probably the correct way of handling that, had I done it the first time. That was the correct way of handling that, which I did do the first time. I cannot stress enough the headspace that you get when you have done well at tidying your own place, basically. It's almost not worth mentioning how valuable it is. But it's also very difficult to remember how valuable it is when you're actually off face with the task of doing it. So don't beat yourself up about it if you're having trouble. I think that we very much suffer from SAD in our household, which is a real thing. No lying. So let yourself fail for a while if you have to. Now that spring is here, now that the weather is getting better, we are doing so much better at keeping this place shipshape, spick and span. Just looking to my left at what was Jen's desk, now that it's completely empty, there's nothing on it except for like a slipper, which I'm not quite... Presumably that was on the floor for a while and we just wanted it somewhere else, right? And downstairs is so much better as well, because now what used to be a lot of, you know, visual clutter. I spent most of this bank holiday just tidying the kitchen. I did it last time as well. In fact, Jen started going to... do random skills here just in case something good happens. London for work quite regularly, so... What? Oh, I'm on... Oh, yeah, I remember. I forgot I went through here. Did I get anything? No, not really. So on the Monday, when there's no Jen and there's sometimes no dog either, I can focus on stuff without feeling like I'm doing it with somebody else. There's a bit of a problem. Let me talk about this. I don't want to sound like I'm being judgmental or anything, but there's a mental blockage. What happens when there's more than one person in the house, but only one of them is doing anything? Yikes! Go away. That was not fun. That was... I acknowledge that I did that one wrong. I didn't wait to see what enemies there were. And therefore I did not wait to see how best to handle them. Which is usually slow them down and shoot them in the face with your crossbow. But I didn't do that. One shot and then a couple of bashes with that does get those things dealt with, so that's nice. What is this? To get behind your enemy? No. I don't know how to use it, and with 100% damage taken, I'm not really in the mood to learn just yet. Oh, I nearly screwed that one up as well. So don't let me stop you. This has turned out to be a difficult run. This way, I guess. Jen is not necessarily well. She's not a well-capable human being like many of us. Even I would not consider myself necessarily in that class, but more so, for sure. Nice. I mean, we could just leave. Which means that when stuff needs doing, it's usually just me doing it. Which is kind of my lot in life right now. And it's okay, because we have to sort of deal with stuff together anyway, but when she's not here, even if she's not... Like, when she's not here, she's not doing anything. When she is here, she's not doing anything. Not all the time. I hasten to add, it's not all the time. It's an occasional problem. But it's really dependent on mental health at the time, and all that sort of thing. It's not an easy thing to talk about. I'd say easy thing to talk about. Not necessarily an easy thing to describe. I hate the way you keep leaving those bombs around. You bullshit. Yes. Pull it towards you. I like that. But the fact is that when she is in the can't manage state, it's the same as when she's not here, right? She can't do the thing. It doesn't matter why. Whether she's not here or just literally physically incapable at the time, it's the same deal. And yet, when she is here but not capable, I start to feel like I shouldn't have to do anything either. For one reason or another. Why I feel that way? I do not know. It seems strange because This is the problem with modern humans, is that we are still somewhat governed by our emotions. But even though I know perfectly well that there's a logical and valid reason why it's happening, I don't like it because it makes me sad. And that's it. You know, it makes me sad to see the situation being as it is. Which is not to say that the situation is, I won't say unfair, but you get the idea. It's not imbalanced or anything. I see the way out. It's not imbalanced in the way that I'm not prepared to deal with anyway. But when she's not here, my brain's like, well, she's not here, you might as well do stuff. When she is here, it's like, why should I do stuff if she's not here? That's the default reaction my brain has, and that's not a fair reaction under any circumstances, essentially. Why would you not let me roll out of the way of the incumbent attack? I'm finding this happens a lot, and it's really stressful. Also, why did that go up? Just have to sort of deal with it sometimes, don't you? Will you die? I can't avoid every attack these things make, and it's stressing me right now. This is where you want shield method, right? More of that. You. I don't do more damage to a frozen enemy now, so that will take a little bit longer. It's not necessarily the best tactic. But stabbing something in the back when it can't move is a pretty good tactic anyway, so go for it, I say. We made it to the clock room, so that's alright. So, when she's not here, I will do things like I clean the entire kitchen and tidy. Well, I say clean and tidy. I say entire, basically. That's not necessarily the word we mean, but I did a lot of work. The oven is washed for the first time since forever. That's a lot of money, but we're going to do it. Yes, thank you. And it exacerbates its own freeze, which is outrageous. It's not going to help too much on this one because there's no additional enemies to riff off of. But oh, what a bloody good roll that turned out to be. Very happy with that. Didn't give me plus 100 damage by any chance. No, I think we're okay. But like, how do you solve that problem? Like, I guess on like a personal level, right? How do you stop being that guy? Right, so get behind it with the thingy. When it makes sense to do so. Ah, yeah. Or fool you. Also, when you're slowed down like that, you can't do the thing. Behind it, please. I do not know if I'm ever going to successfully beat this boss, like, without getting hit. I mean, we're doing so much better now than we used to. Having it slowed and then just shooting it in the face is unbelievably good. And now it's at the speed when I can cope with it. Can you not do the thing when the things are coming down on top of me and I get hit by them? I run out of ammo. Stop. I mean, those patterns are not necessarily hard to dodge. It's just that there's a limit on how often you can... This won't end well. That's a new one. It's a limit on how often you can roll. It is my main problem here. And I'm trying to deal with that. And it's not working out. Don't want that. Could have wanted that, but it's a little bit too late. Oh, excuse me. I've been talking too much and it's difficult. The High Peak Castle is a very good tell of whether your run is good enough to beat the final boss. And your personal experience. If your skill is not good enough to beat the final boss, it doesn't really matter about the run. Let's just talk to this chap a little bit longer. Excuse me. More tea, Vicar. There's not much of that left. Definitely cold now, though. 40% of the items found will be of plus quality. That's going to be good. And soon we'll be able to unlock the next layer. What is the next layer? Because we can put cells into these, but previous gauge incomplete. 5,800 cells. You're going to make me play this game until I'm dead. I do not have the time to play this game that many times. Often. Sorry. Where's my forge, dude? Who fixed that? I'm pretty sure that was broken just now. Never mind. Never mind. So, it's so much more freeing. I'm struggling to find the words because the problem that I'm coming across, that I have been coming across, is simply that everything is difficult and no. This bloody crossbow is outrageous. Shouldn't be allowed. I think we're doing quite well. Sorry to say. Go in. Oh no. Thought it was the nerves of steel, but it wasn't. It wasn't. Let me start again because I've derailed myself so many times by the game changing in front of me. Ranged. Nope. No. Oh, it is good, but not good enough. I think Nerves of Steel has the same shot time as. I'm not going to attack that elite for anybody. As the crossbow that we're using, the difference being the crossbow fires itself at the correct time. You stabbed but didn't get me, which is amazing to me, but I thank you for it. Can't get out! That was really bad. I honestly didn't realize that that enemy was there. Not that that enemy was there, but that it was that enemy that was there. I really did think that it was actually one of these other ones up here. I mean, you can do that as much as you want. You're only going to make yourself dizzy. The window change and your face will stick. You ever get that one? The window change and your face will stick? My older generational family were very much the aficionados, shall we say, of a good adage, of a good saying, of a good, I don't know what you want to call them. What are those things? They're idioms, but they're meaningful idiomata. The window change in your face will stick is very idiomatic because it makes absolutely no sense. Except for probably once or twice when the wind changed and people's faces stuck. Ooh. You see that? What is happening? This went wrong, but only eventually. This went wrong because I got cocky. I really think this is on me. Nice. I didn't need to do half the things that I did just now. I could probably have a look before I leap. See whether we're about to get owned by some insalubrious characters. Also, we should probably do a little bit more effort to make sure that these things get... Which one's this? Oh, this one's properly owned. I want them to be slowed down before I attack him most of the time. Like that, because that was considerably easier than most of the rest of the floor has been so far. So if I give you that, you want to make sure you're not in range of these things. That's the thing. I'm rolling! Why won't you stop shooting when I'm trying to roll? It's so stressful. I was literally mid-roll at the time, and he just went, no. I'm not gonna let you. There we go. Right. I'm only not too worried, simply because we have the, I think we know that we're gonna get a recharge later. Do a little bit of damage to them first. Oh, excuse me, young man. Oh, young man. What was that from? Harry Enfield? Sounds like Harry Enfield to me. Yep, we're going to do this again. I'm not a fan of this. I've done this wrong. I've done this very, very wrong. I And I do apologize, but also at the same time, help would let me out, and I'm scared. So, we're gonna need to find one more key. The only thing is, excuse me, we have to find the key that we can cope with. Which is turning out to be difficult. How did you get in that position? How does this keep happening to me? You rolled into the bloody spikes. I saw it coming and it happened anyway. Don't have to kill every enemy as well, remember that. Come on, brain. It's you and me together now. None of them can stop us now. We can make it through somehow. Couple more seconds, come on. Nice, 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 nice. Right, now we just have to find our way out, and I'm not going that way, I'm going this way. You know, I think we're not... Oh, that's not what I meant. We're not very good at this, so I honestly think that we're not really in the position to expect to win. Even that moment just there, I was going, I know exactly what I've done wrong. HP? Ah, why? Right, where is the exit likely to be? It could be up there. Let's try up there first. Honestly, I don't know how you find the exit in these games. The thing about Isaac is if the level seems to keep going, then there's a reasonable chance that that's where the exit is. In this game, it's like, just guess. Everywhere's as likely as everywhere else. Appreciate that, though. Up there. The other one that I was remembering is a lick and a promise, which is what they would say when you didn't wash your hands properly. You know, if you just rinse them under the cold tap or whatever you do. And you say, what was that? A lick and a promise. Wash them properly next time. Okay, excuse me? And to this day, I've still not quite established what a lick and a promise actually is. Like, I get the meaning of the idiom, just don't really get the origin of the idiom. Right? I don't really want to fight you, so I'm just not going to. Again, you don't have to fight everything. I don't know why I keep doing this. There's the other end of that. So, you over here? Yes. Avoid. Nice, nice, nice. So, making sure everything's slowed is a very big part of my tactics right now. There's another one of those things, but we don't need all three. We've already won the thing that you get for doing that, so we don't need to do it again. Absolutely not. Can you stop? What happened? I was stomping. Can't get me when I'm stomping. That's the rules. So powerful. Wish I was using it properly. You know? There's nothing here, is there? What? Everything went a little bit faster than I did in my brain. I want this. I don't want this. A lick and a promise. Basically means wash your hands properly next time, you incorrigible little brat, because you will be sick if you don't. Do you know what? Oftentimes I just accepted being sick. No. This is going to be difficult because I really don't want to deal with that invisible one. I have to time it so that I can zap them both at the same time. Like that. And then do this, and then do this. Nice. Very grateful for how that went down. Can I see anything down here? No. Let's keep checking these in then. and get back up again. We've got so much money from this amulet that we got that I feel bad for making rude about it in the first place, because it's actually really good. It's been tremendous. The thing is that the money amulet, you don't realize, actually allows you to do a huge amount of rehashing of your run. Because a lot of the time, being able to spend money either in the shop or in between levels is kind of key. There's a direction we haven't been in. Let's check it out. I really don't want to fight anything. I just want to go home. Let me out. Let's see you. Nice try. Although I nearly got hit by that stabby one. What is this? Plants. A whole bunch of strange flowers. With an astonishing smell. Research notebook. The latest crossbreeding produced no results. The extracts administered to the volunteer produced a shapeless monstrosity, half man, half plant. Subject failed to survive. You sure? I wonder what that refers to. Everything seems to have been an experiment on this place. Like, every problem that this place has been some sort of experiment that's gone wrong, instead of just, like, I don't know, can people just stop experimenting on things and we'll be in this situation? I was drinking, so I couldn't press the other button. Right. More gold reserves, please. This game is becoming a grind, to be honest with you. Yes, can we do this? Should we do this? I don't know if we should, to be honest with you. Poison, burning, frozen. Freezes. Great, great. Think that's good. Also, we got our one fist back from that thingy. Now let's have a look at this. Losing a health person grants a lot of DPS for 12 seconds. Flask is empty. Or 5 elite enemies, which is going to happen between. I'm going to reforge, reset my thingies, and I'm going to take that. The reason I'm going to take that is the DPS increase is astonishing, and 5 elite enemies is going to happen during the fight, I'm sure. So we will get another go on our Ithus flask, our healing flask, in between, as long as we survive long enough in the first place. And damage for taking a hit. See, the thing is, the ones where we do things after killing an enemy are now completely useless to us. Except for this one, where it's a long-term thing rather than a short-term thing. And I think, therefore, we still want this one, because this slowdown has been so useful to me so far that not having it would be preposterous. Also, I was certain that we got a thingy after this, but it seems like we don't. So I guess we're not going to get an Isthus flask after all. That was my mistake. I thought we always got one at the end of that. But I also thought we didn't get one before that. So we're not going to survive. Don't mean to make you... I don't want to sandbag this run. Versus Captain Falcon over here, but... We don't have long. You did an exclamation mark. I don't know what it meant. No! I panic every time I play this. I panicked even more because I was so certain that we were going to get a refill of our flask to do that run, do that boss fight, and we just didn't. So remember not to take a stupid amount of damage. I guarantee that was the other way around last time, because I was so upset about the amount of damage that I took during the castle, and then it gave me it all back. I was like, amazing, we get to try this. That's upsetting. That's really upsetting, because I was working on a premise. I even told you the premise that I was working on. Can we just restart this run? It's rubbed. That was absolutely... oh, no. Because you can do that. It's not like I gained anything or lost anything. Look, there's my gold back. I'm not on a streak or anything. It's not like I didn't die on the previous run anyway. Yeah, sure. More deep. Oh, but we've got the assault shield, so let's do that. All right, in the next episode, we're going to have an assault shield run, and we're going to maybe try and do another survival run, because that has historically been a good way of winning, basically. But until then, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. I hope that I will get better at this game, and I'll see you.